Confidence intervals are actually pretty fun. They deal with the same type of thing that we've been doing. The first one that we were doing were proportions. The next day we'll do means, and so you can kind of see the comparison between them. So if you look through this question, you're asking 900 adults, and if they prefer ice cream with their birthday cake or not, and 400 of them prefer ice cream with their birthday cake or with their cake at a birthday party. A 95% confidence interval for P. So like in that overview, you're trying to say something like, I'm 95% confident that the true proportion is within this certain range. That's what they kept saying, like what's the width of your range and things like that. It's within a certain range. And you can say by percentage, I'm 95% confident it's within this range. We might do 90%, we might do 80%. 95 is pretty easy because it's part of this condition. We were doing 3 standard deviations away from the mean was 99.7, but 2 standard deviations from the mean was 95%. So that's basically kind of what we're going to be setting up and saying, where is 2 standard deviations of the mean and what's the probability within there? I think you've been doing the probability, but what is the boundaries? Where is it within here and here? A couple things we need to know. Population, so what's the population that we're targeting? And it looks like it's U.S. adults for this problem. Now notice I'm starting with this normal curve. How do I know it's in a normal curve? There's a few things you got to check. Does it somewhere say that it's random selection? Yes. The normal curve for this one is NP greater than 10 and NQ greater than 10. So we've got to identify how many people are in our sample, 900, and what is our population or our sample proportion. So we've got 400 out of 900. I think that works out to like 0.444. Let's keep it with the thousandths place. So 900 times 0.444 is almost 400, so that works. What about 900 times the opposite? 1 minus 0.444 is 0.556, I believe. And that's also going to be well above 10. So it is going to have a normal shape, this distribution. Are they independent? Well, it doesn't say anywhere about them being independent. That's where we check for that 10% rule. We surveyed 900 adults. Is that 10% or less from the whole population? U.S. adults, I would say that there's more than, that's why we're doing this times 10, there's more than 9,000 adults. So I think we are all okay with being independent. We want to have a big sample, but not too big where we misrepresent things. So a 95% confidence interval is just that. You're trying to give an interval. You're trying to give a range. Now, 2 standard deviations up and 2 standard deviations down gives me 95%. What are those numbers? So we've got to calculate and figure out what are those numbers. We've got to be able to figure out what the standard deviation is so that we know. Some calculating right along with me and making sure that you're getting this answer. So I'm thinking that this one standard deviation is 0.444 plus 2 standard deviations is another one added to it. I've got the upper bound. Find out what the other ones are as well. To go lower, we need to subtract. So that gives you this one. Now to find this one, we want to go another standard deviation below. So basically, your confidence interval in interval notation is spanning from 0.411 to 0.477 in interval notation. And to interpret this, we have to memorize this sentence and put in the information that we have been doing with this. So we are 95% confident that the interval 0.411 to 0.477 captures the true proportion of adults who prefer ice cream.